The world's most prestigious breaking competition, the Red Bull BC1, is celebrating 15 years in South Africa. One of the breakers that were in the forefront when South Africa hosted the world final in 2007 in Soweto was the renowned b-boy known as Shorty Blitz. He's now here with us to speak to us about the future of breaking in South Africa through this ongoing search for the best B-girl and B-boy that will represent Mzansi at this year's BC1 World Final. And he joins us now via Zoom. A very good morning to you, Shorty. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on the show this morning, Shorty. You were there when South Africa hosted the first World Final in Soweto. Can you give us an overview of that experience and what it meant for South Africa, for the SA breaking culture to be exposed to other global breakers?
I think it's always phenomenal getting to experience and getting to compete on such a prestigious event such as Red Bull BC1 on such a global stage, competing with the best in the world. So, from a breakdancer from South Africa, Cape Town, it's always good to test your skills and to get exposed to an event of such a caliber.
Okay, and the first Cypher Tour stop took place in the previous weekend in Johannesburg. Now, speak to us about these Cypher weekends, especially in how they are structured for not only the battles, but as a knowledge-sharing platform.
The tour has previous national Red Bull BC1 winners on the tour, which will host workshops the day before, sharing their knowledge, their experiences on battling, on competing, and then just sharing knowledge with guys from the regions. And then the following day, we'll go back into the Red Bull Cypher, where we'll be searching for the top b-boy in your region, and then all the top 16 guys will meet up to battle in the national Cypher. So Johannesburg was awesome. We had a lot of b-boys and b-girls competing, so it's always good to see that guys hungry for competition and to show their moves off.
Right. And how would you say breaking has evolved over these past years since it started in terms of B-girls being acknowledged in the space as well as the crew dynamics of the sport?
This dance form continuously evolves. When people talking about when it started back in the day with the back spins and now guys are spinning like 50 spins on one hand. So It's continuously evolving. I think also with the female dynamic, which is important, is that there are a lot of females also involved in the sport and in the community. So it's always good to uplift females also, and the females has come out and really done amazing. They are phenomenal female B-girls, so it's always good to see that.
I see that breaking is now added as a sport in the Olympics. So just how intense is the training for this dance medium that's also considered a sport?
We have guys and girls. We normally train 6 to 8 hours a day. So it's very competitive. You always have to push yourself to new bounds, to new limits, to new moves. It's the music side, it's the athleticism side, it's also the art side. So you have to find balance in your training and how you train also. So on a rough day, it could be 6 to 7, 8 hours.
Sure. So, Shorty, what's the level of interest have you observed in South Africa in terms of, people embracing the sport?
It's been a phenomenal support, for the dance itself. There's so many upcoming next generation dancers, all over. In your rural areas, places you won't think that breakdancers are, you'll find them. There's all over Limpopo, Soweto, Cape Flats, George, all over the country. The next Cypher is in Today is the top 16 in the search in Cape Town at Color Lab in Salt River. And then next weekend, it's in Oudtshoorn. Who would have thought that we'd have a Cypher in Oudtshoorn?
Right. So do you have do you have breaking studios or clubs in those areas, or just anybody can do it anyway?
There are studios. I think the next best thing would be to Google search, but there are studios all over. Cape Town, all the areas, suburbs, in your hoods, everywhere there are studios all over. There's guys teaching out in Oudtshoorn, in Johannesburg, in PE, in George, in East London. Every city, every place you can think of, there's probably breaking going down.
Now, tell me, Shorty, is it is it open to all age groups, everybody of all age groups, or a certain body frame, or is it just anybody can do it?
I think it depends on the individual themselves. If you're willing to put in the time and the discipline for the art form, then anyone can do it. Any age. I mean, these guys and females that are doing it at age of 50. Probably not competitively, but I mean, it just depends on how well you train yourself. So anyone, it's open to anyone.
I mean, just paint a picture for us, if you can. I mean, how long would it take for one to reach, that level of being competitive?
I always say it depends on the individual, on your discipline, on your training. Always surround yourself with guys that are also passionate. And also try and get yourself a mentor or a coach, so they can your training can be planned and structured also. So to be on a professional level, on a high, it takes years.
It takes
between
years.
4 to 6, 7 years, if trained properly and consistently.
I mean, we can't overemphasize the importance of physical fitness because, I mean, as we've just described some of these dance routines or dance regimes, it takes a great deal of fitness. And the people might not know this because they may think that it's a simple dance.
It's not. It takes hours and hours and hours of training to perfecting one move. And there are thousands of that. There's the athleticism, as we said, the physicality, and then it's also the mental. I mean, you have to train your mind as much as you train your body.
Which one would you say is intense? I mean, the dance regime or the dance style that you've done, and you say that just looking back and thinking about it, you think that it's very, very intense and hectic for you.
I mean, both is intense. I mean, just the training itself takes so much out of you. I mean, 6-7 days a week, and just to go out there to perform for few minutes on stage to battle. So you have to really strengthen yourself. I mean, train consistently. That's it.
Okay, now give us more details about the other tour stops and the entry mechanics.
Oh, okay. Today is Cape Town, the Red Bull BC1, Cape Town Cypher. It's in Color Lab, Salt River. Just go to redbull.co.za/BC1, and then you can get more information on that. Today is the day where your B-girls and B-boys go out to battle, and then they select the top B-boy and B-girl to compete at the National Cypher. The next stop is in Oudtshoorn, the 12th and 13th in Oudtshoorn in Toekomsthuis Community Center. So all the B-girls and B-boys from Oudtshoorn, get yourself ready because the next stop is Oudtshoorn. But today it's in Cape Town City, so everybody in Cape Town go out and support your local B-boys and B-girls to battle and just have some fun.
I mean, the fact that this particular dance sport, I mean, and the decision to include breakdancing was confirmed by the International Olympic Committee, it shows that there's a future in this. I mean, it's going far. How do you see this growing in terms of more people, especially in all other provinces which this sport is not popular in? How do you see it growing in those areas?
I mean, now you can win a gold medal for your country. You can represent your country. So obviously more people will show more interest. I mean, dance is such a growing sport itself. I mean, from the sports side of the dance. So, I mean, it will grow immensely. There's already a lot of B-boys and B-girls out there. We just haven't even connected with them yet. So I think the more we go out there, network, and trying to connect with other dancers and the community, it will definitely grow from strength to strength. I mean, it was a given that breaking would be part of the Olympics because of the competitiveness and the physicality behind it, and the art and dance. but more the physicality of it and just the growth rate of the dance itself, the evolution.
Okay. Shorty, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Likewise, man.
Thank you. That was breaker Shorty Blitz speaking to us about the biggest breaking competition in the world, Red Bull BC1, which is celebrating 15 years in South Africa.